For the purposes of our discussion today, I want to get back to, there are a lot of singles that feel the same way that this woman feels, experiencing this sense of exclusion, that you don't really fit in, that you don't really belong because you're somehow too different from the accepted norm. I saw a lot of parallels between what she was describing and what her husband was describing as being part of a mixed race couple and having children that are, I think if I remember right, there were some that were black and some that were mixed, and there were like a couple of white children that they adopted, if I remember that right. I may have the details wrong on that, but I mean, they have children that don't all have the same race in them. So, it raises a lot of questions in people as to, where did the children come from and, who actually parented who and, you got a lot of these questions that pop up, and I think that's just normal. But really, when they started describing their experiences, I just couldn't help but think about, all the experiences that I had as a single adult and all the experiences that many other singles have had trying to fit into a family-centered culture, a culture that's centered around something that we as singles, by definition, do not have. Some of us may have the kids, but we don't have the spouse. That's what makes us single. And so we have had challenges trying to fit in because we are different. And so here's another set of people who are coming in, and they're talking about being different in a different way. But ultimately, the emotions that they're talking about that are forming the basis of their experience, they're not all that different. They're really not all that different. And it was really enlightening and worthwhile to listen to what they had to say. Like I said, I don't agree with everything they said. The thing I disagreed with most was this idea that, somebody else should make the first move to welcome them. I know that that's meaningful when it happens because I've experienced it. I've had that difference experienced in my life. I know, I can remember the wards where other people made the first gesture and were truly sincere about it and were truly welcoming, and they kept it up for the length of time that I was in that ward. I got to tell you, it makes a real difference. And so I'm not disputing that at all. What I am disputing is that it should never be you that makes the first move, because ultimately I believe that your happiness is, your responsibility and your responsibility alone. So if you decide not to make the first move and you just sit there and you just wait for somebody else to make that first move, then, hey, you're making a choice, and we all get according to the choices that we make. So there you go. If you're not willing to make the first move to try to, build connections with people so you can feel like you belong, then don't whine and complain when you feel like you don't belong, because you're not taking action that you can take to improve your situation. Now, it's another thing when people come up and they they make the first move and then, they get rebuffed, or they get, somebody says something insensitive and it makes you feel, really negative inside. And okay, I got that, and again, those things shouldn't happen. But again, there's got to be some balance here between everyone taking responsibility for themselves. And, sometimes other people make the first move. Sometimes you make the first move. There's got to be a balance between that. And on the other side, just recognizing that we're all imperfect. An acceptance that we're all going to be imperfect. So that means there are going to be bumps in the road. And we just accept that there will be bumps in the road. So, okay, we get to a bump. We get through the bump. Get over it. Move on. Howdy, peeps. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Join the Journey radio program. And if you did, be sure to click subscribe so you can get more clips in the future. And be sure to check out the Join the Journey radio program, broadcast every Wednesday night on the Join the Journey radio network. Find more information at jointhejourneyradio.com.